Hey folks, this is Mickey G, and welcome to this edition of Old Foods Talking Old School. You know, when I first heard about the combination of chicken and waffles, I was like, yeah, that's never going to fly. Well, who knows? Maybe a cigar bar and turkey wings will make it. Well, we'll see. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition, and happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday to everybody out there.
Man, some of the stuff that I see on ESPN now, I'm like, they looking for something that we ain't doing. Some of the stuff that they have on there, I would get out sitting up here one night and they had something on there. I'm like, now when did that become a sport?
Yeah.
You know, they hunting for something.
But that's just like, I guess, the Summer Olympics is going to have flag football,
Mm-hmm.
And I know, you have to sort of change with the time and stuff. But I was saying to myself, I said, could you imagine some of the ancient Greek athletes looking up there now and saying, what the hell is flag football? We've been running marathons and throwing the discus and stuff. Now they got flag. What is flag football? It just seemed like they're really grasping for things.
They are.
I said, man, ESPN need to go back to them old days where they showed them Notre Dame football games 10 times a day.
Yeah, but ESPN about to be obsolete. They done wore this thing out, man. Those sports gambling stations and all this other stuff and fantasy sports and all that. I can see them going by the ESPN kind of going by the wayside, especially with all these channels that are coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I can see it because ESPN is the old traditional copycat type of viewing, I'm sick of Stephen A. Smith and them on there hollering. You can't even get no sports information because they all got to take it personal and holler at each other because they got to be right. Only thing I like on there is looking at Molly and looking at Jason's sister there, Joy, on the other one, and it's funny because both of them seem to have more sports knowledge than all them knuckleheads on there.
Yeah. It's changed. It's definitely changed, especially with, it just seemed like now with all the people like Stephen A. and everybody on there, everybody wants to be sort of almost outrageous on some of their comments.
Yeah.
I've noticed that with old Sherman on what is it? He's on Prime. Is it Prime Video? When they do the Prime Video thing, he makes a lot of outlandish comments. I know, and he was sort of right the other night when San Diego was getting beat up. They need to fire the coach at halftime. They need to fire the coach at
They did.
And the next day they did. Yeah, but I was sort of like, yeah, you're really right. They need to get rid of him, But they need to fire him right now. They should let him come back out after the half, And I'm like, yeah, he can. Richard Sherman can make some outlandish comments.
Oh yeah, that's how they get their recognition. Because truth be told, two of the least intelligent in my book, sports announcers, Shaq and Charles Barkley, all them, that started on TNT with them joking and ragging on each other and all that. Then everybody else started trying to do it, because it was all straight laced. Your turn to talk, my turn to talk. These brothers just interrupt each other and go off all these tangents. And Ernie and Kenny and they're trying to have a decent conversation. And they're like the class clowns. I'm sick of that. It's just played out with me a long time ago, and now all the rest of them try to do the same thing. And it just you don't get nothing out of it. At least I don't.
But I was talking to Tamara the other day about, I'm surprised at all of the commercials that Shaq is doing now. Now I know he's got a stake in Papa John's, so I mean I could see him doing those commercials. But I saw him doing a Carnival Cruise Line
Yeah.
commercial the other day. You know, he
Mhm.
used to do those salon pods. I think it was no icy hot. Was it icy hot?
Yeah,
And all
icy
those
hot.
kind of commercials. And I said, you know, at
That
one
Ring.
time you couldn't even understand what Shaq was saying.
Exactly.
You know,
Ring. He's part of Ring.
oh really?
Yeah, he was on its inception. He was one of the major investors on it. He I saw an interview on him one time because they were talking about his business acumen, and he said he's built up a credibility that's such that uh, if he endorses it, that means he uses it. And he says that I think I can convey that to the people over there. You know, I mean, what this dude with all the money he got, he make Walmart commercials. He said, "Hell, I love Walmart." You know, 'cause, you know, you got some of them celebrities wouldn't be caught dead in Walmart.
Hmm.
But he's talking about when he got traded to Phoenix that time, and it was a quick trade. He had to leave real quick. He's got to Phoenix down there, and said he went to Walmart and bought about 6 TVs and all kind of. They had like trucks showing up at his new place delivering stuff. I was like, well, it must be nice to do all that, even at Walmart.
Yeah, yeah. Cause you know, one time, you know, a lot of the black comedians used to, you know, part of their skit was making fun of Shaq and the way he talked, you know,
Yeah,
you know, and now I'm like, wow, you know, he's come a long way from that, you
yeah.
know.
I give him credit. You know, I say a lot of times he's stupid and stuff, but he's not. He's sly like a fox, but I think sometimes he might play that role. But again, I think it's because he ain't prepared to give no in-depth analysis about what the subject matter is. So that's why they deflect him and Charles Bogle. Charles, he's dumber than a box of rocks to me. And but I'll never forget one time I was watching on there and Barkley was talking about he needed a loan and he had went to somebody to get a loan. And Shaq said, "You should have come to me. I got plenty. Somebody better tell him." He said, "Somebody better tell him." Yeah, Shaq got money, boy. He's into some of everything, man. But he says he won't endorse no product if he don't use it.
Yeah, which I mean, you know, I gotta appreciate that about it because there's a lot of them that could care. They don't even know what it's for. They get a paycheck, they don't care, you know. But
Exactly.
see, I was thinking, I thought when he went through that divorce that Shaq had lost a lot in that divorce,
Oh, I'm sure he did.
you know, and
His wasn't all that televised though, but I'm sure he lost because hell, they got what did they have 4, 6 kids or something?
I think they had that many, and there was seemed like I read an article where oh man, what was his wife's name?
Yeah. Shoot, I forget her
I
name now.
can't think of her name, but they were saying she was like controlling all the money,
Oh, really?
and yeah, and that there was like a situation almost when they got ready to get their divorce and all, and it was like, you know, Shaq was like, okay, you know, I got this, that, and the other, and the lawyer was like, no, you don't. You know, she's that's all her. She had money tied up in companies and things under her name only.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I read an article about they were saying
She
how
was planning to leave then.
oh yeah, they were saying that she, you know, she had her own, and I don't know if she was in the entertainment promotion side of thing, but she had a businesses of her own going on down there, and she had sort of started them and got those things. It would I guess it was technically their money, but when it
Mhm.
got time to go through this divorce thing, it was almost like, well,
Her
no,
money.
yeah,
Mhm.
this is her money.
See that right there. To each his own. But I get so tired of these Negroes up there hollering about mama. See, and then these other women, your mama raised you right. Raised you to turn all your money over to another woman and she screw you like that. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let nobody handle my money. And I don't know what's going on. I may turn over the day to day, you know, if you're an accountant, but it's gonna be a hell of a lot more than quarterly updates I'm needing to have. You know, that don't make no sense because I was getting ready to say I bet his mama was handling all this money because you know all that mama and mama this and mama that. You know, mama's cool, but mama ain't all that.
Well, I think, you know, mama's good to be mama and hopefully give you some good foundation and things of that
Mhm.
nature. But most mothers aren't, I ain't saying in a bad way, smart enough to know the intricacies of tax laws and
That's right.
things of that nature when it comes to things like that, you know.
You just telling the truth, brother.
Yeah, you know, and I just think it's just one of those things that at some point you got to say, Mom, I love you to death, but I need somebody who is versed in these kind of things that can
Yeah.
give me at least some what I consider decent advice. I mean, there's been plenty of athletes who've gotten, you know, financial advisors and things, and they've gone bankrupt, you know, just
Oh
because
yeah,
they had more in it for themselves and the athlete, you know, they
yeah,
were looking for a meal ticket, basically.
yep.
So that's by no means any guarantee. But yeah, I'm the same way. I think you've got to take some responsibility yourself to where
You're dang
yeah,
right.
you ain't got to know, you ain't got to be a PhD in that kind of stuff, but you got to have a little bit of common sense. At least say, "Show me," you know.
You're damn right, and that's gonna be every Monday morning.
Hmm.
You know that's well, what do they say? The quickest way to separate a fool and his money, you know, is that dereliction right there. It ain't all about you ain't in college no more. It ain't just about playing ball. You know, you're as soon as you sign that contract, you become a businessman and basically an LLC because you got to protect your stuff. And ain't nobody caring about. Well, I didn't know. Well, you supposed to know. You get caught up in that. I'd rather lose money to Uncle Sam than to let some sucker rip me off. And so
Yeah,
you know,
I'm the same way because usually with Uncle Sam, it's a pretty much a common whether it's a tax bracket you're in or whatever it is, you know.
mhm,
But you know, when you're dealing with agents and financial advisors and things of that nature, who, as I say, you know, I don't know how much interest they have in me doing well versus them doing well. That yeah, you got to have some input in that yourself and try to educate yourself a little bit on what's going on, so that they can't do stuff like that. I mean, obviously, once again, there's no guarantee that
right,
even if
right.
you try to educate yourself on stuff that it's not going to happen. But yeah, you know, just having that blind faith is
It's
yeah,
ridiculous, man.
yeah.
I look at because I used to really come down hard on them. You damn fool. It's more to life than playing basketball, damn it. That's your means of a living, but you gotta do the rest of it. And but I understand they can get all busy doing, people pulling them from left and right. That's why you gotta have somebody you can trust, but even have somebody watching them.
That's what I say too.
Yeah. And
What I say too.
I saw when one of the dudes I respect the most got ripped off. I was like, well, I ain't in that tax bracket, so I don't know. There must be some other stuff going on. But I imagine you just get tired. But when Kareem got ripped off from his agent,
Hmm.
I was like, hell, that can happen to any of them. The rest of them ain't got no hope.
Yeah,
Kareem is a sharp dude.
yeah, yeah. I say same thing. He always appeared to me to be very, very
Yeah,
cerebral when it came to things like that. But yeah, I remember, you know, he was at one point almost broke. You know,
yeah, yeah.
and so yeah, it can happen to
It
the
can happen.
best of them. You know that things like that
Just
go
like any
wrong.
other businessman. When you got to entrust somebody else, man, there's a reason why they have cameras in banks. Yeah, I trust you, but I need to watch you. You getting thousands of dollars handed to you a day, or I should say an hour. I need to watch you. Make you get tempted. You never know what's going on in their life. They
No,
won't miss this 100. They won't miss that 100. Them hundreds turn into be 100,000s. And no, man, I'd have to be invested, and that's the one thing I think they need to teach these kids when they're coming out. Because you ain't had nothing your whole life. You go to college and they treat you like a king, giving you everything you want. You ain't learning nothing. You just playing ball. Then you get in there, then they throw you to the wolves. You're supposed to know. Well, you don't know the first thing about handling no money. So that's what them agents start coming, that junior, senior year. If you look like a hot prospect, I got to get in on this fool. Steal that money. Like, no, I tell you what. Put it in my savings account. Let Uncle Sam rip me off till I learn how to do this.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Because a lot of them want to get people in investments, and we need to go buy this condo and that condo
Yeah,
and this property and that property. It's going to go. It's going to go. Like I say, you don't understand that kind of stuff. No,
that's
put it
right.
in a savings account. I'll get my 0.00001% interest, but at least it's going to be there.
Exactly.
As I learn things, then maybe we can venture out a little bit more.
That's right.
But
But I'm gonna fire your ass if you come to me with a business proposition. Yeah, I'm the sole investor. It's time for you to go. Now we ain't going that route. I ain't investing in nothing by myself until I learn the ropes, and then I see a deal that maybe I can handle myself. But right off the bat, they get these guys with this. Well, see, you have the potential of making another, 20 million. Well, that's music to the young boys' ears, man. Next thing you broke.
Yeah. Or, go out and buy you 20 cars that are all depreciating assets
Yeah,
versus going out and getting something that you're going to hopefully will appreciate. Yeah, I know you want to have your bling and all, you want to be a
that's
baller and
what
all
it
that kind of
is.
stuff. But when it comes down to it, you got to look at what's going to be around when the career is over, when you
There you
can't get
go.
out there on the field no more, get out there on the court no more.
That's right.
You gotta look past the bling and all that kind of stuff. And some of them can't do that. And when you don't have somebody, I think I would rather have somebody that tells me no, 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 you don't need to do that versus a yes person. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. I just don't like those kind of people.
Hell no. They ain't got your interest at heart.
No.
That's just like Allen Iverson. He was lucky as hell. Whoever his agent was, had the foresight because he was out there, buck wild, and his last contract when they got it, the dude negotiated the contract, but he had I forget how many millions deferred. Like he had money deferred till after he was 35. He couldn't get it till after he was 35. Well, he had run through all this shit. Well, he's about broke. And then his wife took him to, because she was going to leave him. And then when she saw they were both going to be broke, I think they reconciled. So, but he's got deferred money coming to him after 35. Because that lawyer or agent or whoever it was looked out for him. And so there's a possibility you can find a good one, but I'd be cautious.
Yeah, I would too. I would probably go out and look for somebody that has done well with other celebrities, sports people, or whatever. That has got a little bit of a track record. A lot of times you get these new guys, these upstarts that want to make the name for themselves.
Off you.
They go out, they go out there and get in these risky ventures and things, and then lose it all. Because they're trying to make their name off of you.
Oh yeah, I see where you see that boy for the Bronx boy from New York Giants. Yeah, they had his little agent on there acting like he was from the mafia and fired him and got him a new agent. So this dude had been with him, I guess, since he's been in the pros, but he fired his ass.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it ain't nothing I probably gonna have to worry about, but still,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I'd like to have a game plan if I should happen to come into unexpected wealth. But
exactly, that's what I always say about. I ain't gonna never have Jack because I think I might know what to do.
yeah, I was, just the same thing. You hear all them stories about the lottery winners who a year later they broke. I'm like, well, give me the chance. Let me see what I might end up broke too, but I just want the chance.
Yes,
I just don't think so.
Yes, indeed. I've been doing it this way all along. I give that a try.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see the vast majority of things, you have so many yes people around, you don't know how to say no, because them cousins gonna come out the woodwork. And I was like, no, sorry. We doing all right now. We ain't.
Yeah, that's where I am too. Where were you at when I had nothing?
Exactly.
You didn't show up when I had nothing. Now you're gonna show up that I got something. No,
That's right.
I still got my memory. I still got my memory. You wasn't around when I didn't have nothing. Now all of a sudden you showing up.
Yeah.
No, but I think most people that have any knowledge of who I am and know me would say, no, don't even go ask him.
Exactly. Because
don't even waste your time.
if you do, go up and type up a bio, because he's gonna ask you about 9 million questions.
That's right. That's right. If you could run the gauntlet and make it out on the other side, he might give you some.
That's exactly right. Yeah, no, this ain't the free bank. Oh, cuz I'm good for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's amazing when you get money, everybody all of a sudden become a businessman. Oh, I want to start my own business. You don't know the first thing about starting a business. And I'm like, man, where's your business plan, man? Oh, well, I'm gonna go and get down on this block where there's 15 restaurants, and I'm gonna be the 16th. I'm like, no, bro.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to a guy on the radio the other morning that he's opening these. They're not sort of your typical soul food restaurant. They're called soul, but they're almost like a restaurant bar. I mean, they have music and karaoke and all this kind of stuff. And he opened one in Nashville, and he was talking. He said, "Yeah, they have opened one here in Murfreesboro, in a location that there's been probably 6, 7 restaurants in there since we've been here. None of them have lasted. Hey, yeah, we're going to expand to Chattanooga. We're going to go blah, blah, blah." And I'm thinking, I mean, I'm not a businessman, but it seemed like you're going really fast, really quickly. Because that same thing happened to another restaurant that came here a couple of years ago. They were in Nashville. They opened one in Antioch. They opened one in Murfreesboro. And the next thing I know, their Channel 4 was out there at the place because they were the employee was in front of the restaurant. It was closed. They hadn't got paid. They was trying to find the owner. They finally got him on the phone, and all he kept saying was, "Everybody will get paid. Everybody get paid. Everybody get paid." And and everybody was saying, you went too fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Put your roots down in a place, do a good thing, get you a good reputation, then put roots down somewhere. You don't just go opening up places, every week.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see.
You ain't McDonald's.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing goes. Because I know by fact we were talking about going over there last weekend to have dinner. And Tamara was saying, I said, "Dad, that ain't the kind of soul food restaurant you used to. That it's almost like a bar. It just happens to be a restaurant." He said, "They got, music playing." He said, "I know you don't really like that kind of stuff that much. When you go eat, you just want to go eat." And I said, "Oh, really? That's what it is." And yeah, I was thinking it was more of a typical sort of soul food place. So it's going to be interesting to see. He was on the radio station. He was telling people about, what all he was going to do. And I don't know where he got his money from. He kept almost saying, almost like, "I got a lot of money and I need to do something with it." And I don't know where he got his money from. But I don't know. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see.
Let's see. You ain't no damn businessman. That's what the whole thing of it is. You ain't done no research to see what's palatable for your area. And I say that because a couple of dudes tried to open up cigar bars. One of them had a cigar bar. I never went in there. It looked like it was a nice place, but how you gonna open up a cigar bar and sell turkey wings? The last damn thing I want while I'm smoking a cigar is a damn turkey wing. Okay. all the cigar bars I've been to here where I live, ain't nobody sounding like Daddy Warbucks. You can hear the music all the way down the street. That's a club. That ain't no cigar bar. Cigar bar has some nice mellow music playing, and people sitting around drinking that and smoking a cigar. They got them hoochies running through there with short shorts on and all that. Man, this ain't no damn cigar bar. We don't do no research. We don't know what's what, and that because you want to draw that other crowd. If a person sees a cigar bar, you figure it's somewhere laid back. You can go, maybe a little older crowd or whatnot. But hell, if you hear all that rap music coming out of there ain't nowhere no middle-aged, somebody with some money in their pocket. You want them dudes to come in there, buy a drink and stand on the wall with it for the whole night,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like, man, we don't get it sometimes. And the other thing is, I ain't trying to do nothing black because my whole objection to having a business is green. Everybody got green, and I want everybody's green.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't catering it to no one specific group. No, you welcome, and you welcome. Just bring me your money. That's all I'm looking for. They don't get it, man.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. When you segregate yourself to where you're targeting just one group or one race or whatever, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
And just like you say, the money is green. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I don't. Nothing wrong with having some type of menu that maybe caters to African Americans a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you got to realize you got to be able to draw all kinds of people in there to make a business successful.
Yeah. If you're gonna last.
If you're gonna last, yeah, you got to do that. You got to have a good product, and you got to have the business knowledge and know how to make the changes you need to make and do things that you need to do. You got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a tough bit, especially in the service industry. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. Because everybody's wanting the new kid on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else got to come in a year later with something new, and they all flocking over there. They just, especially us, with our, and there's other ethnic groups too, I'm sure. But I'm just saying, we do it with our churches, we do it with our eating places, do it with our clubs. Whatever the hot one is right now, that's what we do. And another one come in, oh man, they tough over there. Everybody start going over there. I'm like, damn, ain't no allegiance here.
Oh no.
So I'm like, no, man. I look at when we go home, man. I look at all the churches over there. Churches, I don't know how the hell they make it. They must be getting wick. Ain't nobody in there. 2 or 3 cars in the parking lot, but the door's still open.
Yeah.
And now everybody's going to the new church over there with the bells and whistles. And the black church was the black church. The white church was the white church. Now they're doing all this interdenominational and black folks and white folks intermingling. I ain't got no problem with that, but they didn't abandon the old rock steady that's been there, So I know Rosa, them old church. If she didn't have about 10,000 cousins, that sucker would have been under a long time ago. You go to church in there, it's her whole family in there. We need to see them, we go to church. When you see everybody. That's one of the things that I would not want to get into about right now. It's hard not to get in some sort of service industry, but I know there's a Cajun restaurant here. I don't know what happened. Doing good business. It was right outside the base here. Dude relocated here from New Orleans, man. He's a chef, man. Good cook, man. I mean, God, dog, he was the talk of the town. And I don't know what happened. Had built this nice restaurant over there, and it was right down the street from the base. So you figured there would be a bunch of clientele. And all of a sudden, we went over there to go to dinner one day. It was closed. I'm like, damn. So again, though, he had opened up another store, so they only had the one store.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they came back, and they had a reopening, and then they closed after about a week.
Man.
So they ran into some snags with the Midwest City Chamber, and so then they moved over to Del City, which is right next door. And I'm like, damn, boy, people have to, play Monopoly to try to find y'all ass, And so we found it. Rosa saw it on some site that she deals with, and she said, "Oh, it's over there, right?" I said, "All right." She said, "But they're only doing takeouts now." I was like, "Huh." I said, they had a nice little thing going on. So anyway, I went over there to a tire place because I was having a problem with my tire. So they was going to put it up on the rack to check it out and all that. And they were right down the sidewalk. I'm like, hell, I like to go over there because every time I go there, they got some of the best tasting fish. And I think that's about the only thing I've eaten out of there after all these years here was the fried catfish and shrimp and grits. And so I was sitting there. It was like midday, and I wasn't really all that hungry. But since I'm over here, I'm gonna eat something over here. So I got the shrimp and grits. So I sat there, not thinking. Man, that girl brought me the bill. I had shrimp and grits and 2 Cokes, $28.
Really?
Like, yeah. I was like, what? I said, all right. I bet you the next time I have some shrimp and grits, it'll be right here. $28. We used to go. Me and Rodney used to go there. I would get shrimp and grits, and what I think they wasn't no more than about $18. And the little bit she eats, she would order the catfish, but she can't eat but half a piece. So we box it up and come back home, and it came with red beans and rice and a bunch of other stuff, hush puppies and all that. Man, all I had was shrimp and grits and 2 Cokes. $28.
Oh, man.
$28, yeah. I was like, well, thank you, but no thank you. I tried to frequent you, but we can't roll like that.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of Quaker Oats that I could buy.
Yeah. And you realize that food prices have gone up, but sometimes you can't justify some of these prices. I think sometimes people sort of feed off of that way. Everybody knows food prices gone up, so we're just gonna tack on a couple of $3 more dollars. Ain't nobody gonna question it. No, I mean there's a limit.
Yes, it is. Yes,
there's
it
a limit.
And hey, by the time I gave her a nice little tip, I'm like, I could have been on the commissary and bought a whole basket of Quaker Oats and bags of them the frozen shrimp in there. but yeah, man, so I don't look for them to be over there too long either, because there wasn't but 3 of us in there, so it ain't gonna last long.
Makes you wonder sometimes when you see places that seem like they're doing really good, and all of a sudden the doors are closed. It always makes you wonder, well, what went wrong? It seemed like they was doing so well.
Yep.
But as they say, you don't never know what's going on behind the scenes.
That's right. And the sucker was good. Last time before that, I can't even tell you what kind of sauce that was that he puts on them grits. But boy, that sucker is good. But this time, and I mean, it's just when you know what you're doing, the simplicity of it just blows my mind. I said, I'm gonna try it one day. I said, this ain't nothing but cream and mushroom that he done integrated in these grits. Boy, them suckers was good. And no shrimp on there. I was like, damn, I never would have thought of that. I said, but that's cream and mushroom right there. That's in there. I'm like, I was like, hey, we're gonna do that next time I get up. Well, if I get up and fix it, it's gonna be a hell of a long time from now. Rosa did something the other day for me. I got to go down there and put my order in. Hey, man, need to put some cream and mushroom off in here.
Love to see folks going into business for themselves. Sometimes you sort of question their business strategy, especially in the service industry. Been there, done that, but we wish everybody the best. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition. Join us next time for Old Fools Talking Old School. Until then, this is Mickey G. Peace.